Alright then, it is that time of the week again where we do review Cheltenham's game, and this week it was a 2-2 away draw against Port Vale. Apologies that my voice is not quite right, I was shouting a lot today. Obviously I do record these reviews on the day of the game, just so it's all fresh in my mind, so yeah, my voice is a bit croaky, I do apologise, but I'll try and get through this match review. Feel free to comment your thoughts on the game down below. It was a very nitty gritty one, it's fair to say, but we're going to be diving into all the stats, my thoughts, and how the game panned out in this video. If you do go on to enjoy this video, please do smash like and subscribe, and also go and watch the Matchday vlog from yesterday's game. The link will be in the description. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the review. So I suppose it's worth starting off with how we started the game, as always. So we started off and we were under the cosh straight away. I wouldn't say we were well and truly dominated, because we did still have periods on the ball, but Port Vale had pretty much 100% of the chances for the first 20 minutes. We didn't really get a look in. You know, they had most of the possession. They had a few crosses come into the box, a few shots blocked. Most of the play took place in our defensive half, so it's never how you want to start a game. Nothing really too major happened in those first 20 or so minutes though, which is it's quite unusual, because usually if one team is dominating in the early stages, you think, you know, something's going to happen here, whether it's a goal, whether it's a few bookings here and there, something like that. I think the only thing that happened in the first 20 minutes or so was Ollie Yinka getting a ball smacked in his face and then playing on after, because he got absolutely smacked with a rock solid ball. I don't know how he played on, because would have hurt, and it sounded like it hurt. We could hear the boom from the away end, so not ideal. But yeah, first 20 minutes of the game pretty dry, but like I say, Port Vale did share the greater of the chances that did take place. Of course, Dan and Lunderloo then scoring in the 24th minute with a very nice finish actually into the bottom right hand corner. Port Vale a bit all over the place for that goal. I think they'll be a bit disappointed that they did concede there. They probably thought could have done a bit better, but we took our first chance. You know, we'd had an offside goal disallowed before, but you know, by the time the ball hit the net, we all knew that it was offside, apart from a few that still somehow cheered. But yeah, the goal, it came a bit out of the blue, because, you know, we were all saying, like, oh, there's a goal coming for Port Vale, like, we're getting absolutely dominated. And we were, as you can tell by some of the celebrations, we were very, very pleasantly surprised. I don't think I've ever celebrated a 1-0 goal like that before. Maybe Sheffield Wednesday last season I celebrated a lot. But yeah, this one in particular was crazy, because no one could see it coming, and we were by far the second best team in this game. But Dan and Lunderloo gave us the advantage. Unfortunately, then we actually went back to how we were before, but worse. You know, not winning second balls, being caught out of position, lack of communication, and that's just to name a few issues that came about as a result of our play. Of course, after our goal, and then it was coming. Port Vale did hit the back of the net. The ball was whipped in from the left flank right to the back post, and their man was free, and that was the problem. And the three central defenders were way too tightly bunched. Sean Long's got to be doing better, and some people put the blame on George Lloyd. I think that's unfair. You know, he's covering the wing-back position. There's no need for him to be that narrow. You know, it was only on the far side of the 6-yard box. It's not like it was on the edge of the area or on the far left-hand side of the area. It was at the back post, but it was just by the 6-yard box. And Sean Long has to be doing better with his positioning, and their player had a simple free header. Luke Southwood may be a bit frustrated to not have, you know, maybe got a solid hand to it, but they deserve their goal, and to be honest, by that point, they deserved to be about 2 goals up, and it was only 1-1, so we were lucky to be at that point. And then, of course, 3 minutes later, they scored once again, and it was an own goal by Taylor Perry, which I think is very, very unfortunate, because Taylor Perry was absolutely brilliant for the full 90 minutes today. I have to say, he was very, very good, made some vital blocks, made some good passes, linked up the play well, was positive on the ball. Very, very pleased with Taylor Perry's performance. But, of course, he did score the own goal, but like I said, the same thing happened again. It was whipped in to the far post, and their player this time If on the first goal their player wasn't free enough, this time he was completely open. He practically had the whole, he practically had a 2 metre radius around him, being unmarked, and managed to get a solid head to it. And then Taylor Perry was very close to being able to keep it out, but obviously when it's bouncing around, it's very difficult under pressure, especially when there's lots of attackers and defenders around you trying to get the ball away or into the back of the net. But that was 2-1 to Port Vale, and to be honest, it was very frustrating because, you know, we were like, yes, okay, we deserve to be losing. We probably deserve to be losing by more than 1 goal. However, we went 1-0 up. We ground out the goal. We got the goal. We defended pretty resolutely up until that point, and then we just completely capitulated once again. And that seems to be an issue, is once we score, we switch off. There's no consistency. We don't get a goal and then say, go for more, go for more. Straight back to how we were. Straight back to being defensive. Straight back to poor play. Then it was half-time, and, you know, nothing really happened between the second goal and half-time. But second half, we made the change that pretty much changed the game in our favour. Ryan Broom came on, and I have to say, what a performance. Completely changed the game. I don't think he got any goal contributions. I don't think he assisted the Charlie Brown goal. But what a performance from Ryan Broom. He absolutely had the whole of the Port Vale left side on strings. They couldn't get anywhere near him. I think they tackled him once. The rest of the time he dribbled it past them, which is very, very impressive. He was just unreal. He was putting consistently brilliant balls into the box. I don't think there was one bad cross from him. He, you know, was brave to shoot from the edge of the box. He wasn't nervy on the ball at all. He brought the positive vibes to the team, which we needed. The positivity on the ball going forward, which Taylor Perry brings in sorts, but Ryan Broom is all about good attacking football, and that's what he showed. And that is why he is probably our best signing of the summer window. You know, and we signed some decent players, Dan and Taylor Perry on loan, of course. But honestly, for me, looking at the squad now, he is one of the high priority players, if not the most important player to this squad, and he proved it. And of course, the second half was very nitty-gritty, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. But in the 91st minute, Charlie Brown, of all players, got his second goal in 2 games. His second goal for the club after signing last season. It was an absolute scramble, but oh my word, was it scenes. Once again, we did not deserve the goal, although we were getting a lot more chances than in the first half. Once again, worth saying, because of Ryan Broom. But, you know, we showed the positivity to stick at it, which is always good. And we managed to get the goal, and like I said, absolute scenes. The players looked buzzing. They knew how important that goal was. And obviously then, they came at us. They very, very nearly scored. But it ended 2-2. Now, the one thing I do want to say is I'm very, very happy with this result. But I'm not happy with the performance. I think certain players had an absolute rotter today, and unfortunately his name seems to be coming up a lot recently. It's the man with the captain's armband, Sean Long. What can I say? Honestly, what can I say? Absolutely dreadful performance. There was occasions where he would completely miss the ball. You know, he would get played a pass. He would completely miss the touch. The ball would go out of play. He did that on 2 occasions, one of which will be on screen now. The most hopeless one out of the 2. Lack of communication, not just with the whole team, but on occasions he was going up for headers when there was already a Cheltenham player below the ball ready to try and go up to win it. He wasn't communicating. There was a lack of movement. There was a lack of motivation. And of course, there was a lack of quality. He needs to step up his game. And I understand that it's very difficult when you come off the back of several previous poor performances to then bounce back straight away. But I would say today was probably Sean Long's worst performance of the season. And I think, if anything, ahead of Bolton on Saturday, I'd give the captain's armband to someone else. Now, I know that's a big ask for Wade Elliott. I know it's a very, very important and monumental change. But there is definitely players in this team that deserve the captain's armband more than Sean Long right now. To name a few, Taylor Perry, Lewis Freeston, Caleb Taylor, Alfie May, Dan Lundaloo, maybe Ryan Broom once he gets back into the frame of things. All of those players communicate with each other and are vocal on the pitch. I rarely see Sean Long giving out orders and, shouting at his teammates, getting them going, riling them up. And it's a worrying sign to see your captain like that. But I'm hoping that in general, this is a performance to build on. Because Vale, they were very good today, don't get me wrong. But we need to use this as the turning point. We need to build from this performance right now because we have some big games coming up. Of course, we have some difficult ones, but we also have some big ones. We've got Bolton on Saturday. We've then got Accrington away the weekend after, which is a huge game for us. We've then got Cambridge at home on the Tuesday, another huge game for us. And then, of course, I believe Derby away the weekend after that. But like I say, we need to use this as a building point. Wade Elliott now seriously needs to kick into gear because even after getting a point today, there's no sugarcoating it, Wade could still be in trouble. I say could, he is still in trouble because there was very apparent errors today that followed on from previous games which we said need to be sorted out, and they still have not been sorted out. So things need to happen and happen fast because we are still in the relegation zone. We sit 21st, but while there is still a close gap between us and maybe the three sides above, we need to move. We need to get going and we need to start picking up the occasional win. We've had one win so far this season, the rest have been draws and losses. To be perfectly honest, we've played good teams, but the way we've performed in some games and the way some games have panned out, we have to be doing better. It's as simple as. But there's a lot to take from today, positives and negatives, mostly negatives, but a few positives with certain players. And if Ryan Broom doesn't start next Saturday, Wade Elliott, what are you doing? But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, please smash the subscribe. Comment your thoughts on yesterday's game down below. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Have a class rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.